Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Bit Productions. This is going to be major changes number 5. I don't know how many updates it's going to be for Wickenburg. It's a large area and I have a lot to do with it. Structures, scenery, bridges, all kinds of good stuff. Anyhow, in this video we're going to go over some of the structures that I have been working on for the Wickenburg area. We're going to go over the track work that I've got done at this point, and we're going to go over some of the scenery that I have done. I also want to thank you, all of you guys, my viewers and my subscribers, for all the support you guys have been giving me. I really appreciate it, and I'm trying to catch up with the emails that I've gotten with videos that you guys posted. When just before the internet went down, I had like 100 emails that I had to check out. When my internet came back on, I had almost 500. So I am slowly catching up. Be patient, guys. I will get to your videos. Anyhow, with further ado, let's get on to the layout and let's see what's going on. So stay tuned and we will be right back. Alright guys, we're going to start drawing in the doors and windows on my Wickenburg structures. These are going to be the first 3 that I'm going to do. This is Trader Joe's, and this is some sort of a bakery here, and then this is a horseshoe cafe at the end. This one and this one have flat roofs, but this one here has got a peaked roof that goes all the way to the back, so that's going to be interesting to do. The Trader Joe's is the only one that has, on this strip of buildings, is the only one that has a door that actually comes to the front of the building. These ones here, as you can see, or maybe you can't see, let me see if I can zoom in a bit here. Oops, sorry. But anyhow, as you can see that they actually go back into the building. This one and this one do the same. And this is all glass all the way around. So I'm going to try and simulate that. Also, a lot of you guys were asking, how do I come up with the sizes for my structures? Well, here's a good example. I'm looking at this car and I'm looking at this building and I'm saying this building is not very much bigger than this car, and I'm thinking that this car is maximum 20 feet. So I'm guesstimating that this building should be about 30 feet. But now I'll take you down to my model of it and I'll show you what I got. Sorry for the light, guys, it's all I have in here. Let me see, turn on another light. That didn't help very much. Get this out of the way, maybe it'll be better. Anyhow, if you look at my mock-up, this building here is the center building that I just showed you. But as you can see, my car parked in front of it is actually 2 cars long. So in actuality, these buildings here should be half the size of what they are. But I'm not going to redo them. I think it'll look just as good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start drawing in the windows and the doors, and we'll get going from there. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, what we're going to do now is determine the center of each building, which I have done with little tick marks here, as you can see. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw in doors. I measured my front door on my house and it measures 36 inches wide by just over 6 feet. So I'm going to make these doors 36 inches wide by 7 feet tall. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to determine my 3-foot mark. This light's going to be a problem. I'll cast my shadow. Well, that's the best I could do, fellas. Let me see. Let me move this light back a little bit. Maybe it won't be so bad. Yeah, it's a little better. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to determine the width of the door, and I'm going to go ahead and draw it in. So since this is 36 inches, we will mark it here and here. and I'm going to make them 7 foot tall. So we'll twist the building around a bit, and we'll go up from the center line. Let me back this out a bit so you guys can see. There you go. Alright, so now we're going to go up 7 feet. And guys, this is for N scale, so I mean the measurements would be the same for HO, just that the doors would be bigger. Alright, so we're going to do that for the rest of the doors. I'm going to use a square. I'm sorry for the light, guys. Let's see if this helps any. Move that around a bit. Sorry for wasting all this video time. Alright, anyhow, we'll continue from here. I will be using my square to make sure it's square with the foundation, which I'm pretty sure it is. And we will just go ahead and mark it off there. And we'll mark it off there. And then we'll do this. Alright, there's door opening number 1. Now this doesn't look too straight to me. I'll go over the squareness again before I cut it out. Now for the windows, this is going to be freelance because, I'll show you. If you can see the window here at the top, I have to guesstimate what that is, and I can see part of the window way on this side here for the height. So I'm going to guess this window is at least 6 feet this way and about 3 feet this way. Again, it's just a guesstimation, and the distance from the door basically is going to be up to me, whatever I want to do. We're going to go ahead and determine where I want to put that window. So let's get back down to here. Alright, so now I'm going to guesstimate that the top of the window is actually a little bit lower than the door, so I made the door at 7 feet. We'll make the height of the window at 6 feet, just to give it that little bit. Now actually it looks, we'll make it 6.5 feet. 6.5. That's going to be the height. I don't think that's going to be good enough actually. Let's see. Sorry for wasting your time, guys, but this is what I go through every time I do a build. That's 7 feet there, and that's 7 feet there. So we have to straighten that guy out. Just to save time on this, I'm going to make the top of the windows even with the door. Make life a little easier. So we'll just go ahead and draw a line right across the top, and that's going to be the height of my window. Now we're going to determine how far we're going to be from the door. Let's see, we have from the center of the door to the end of the building we have 28 feet. So let's see here, and I'm going to say that window is going to be, alright, so we will go 10 feet and then 10, let's say 10 feet from the door. And then we'll do the same on the other side. 10 feet from the door. Okay. Now, these windows are going to be pane glass windows, so it really doesn't matter how big I make it, because I can make the window whatever size I want it to be. So, alright. Now we said we're going to make this window 3 feet. So we'll come here with my scale ruler, and we'll come down. Actually 3 feet is going to look kind of small. We'll do 4 feet. See guys, I'm basically just guesstimating on what this should be. Again, we'll do 4 feet over here. And so now that's the markings for the bottom of my window, and I'll go ahead and do a light line with that. Again, just do that like that. And now we're going to make the window. Let's see how the measurements are going to work out. We can make this window 8 feet. And I think that's what we'll do. We'll make it 8 feet. So I'll be there, 8 feet, and I'll be there. See, now to me guys, the proportion of the window, according to what I see on the building, is not correct. So I'm going to change that around, and we'll do that off camera so I don't waste too much more time. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got the windows marked out. I actually changed the position of it. Originally I said I was going to go 10 feet from the door. I changed that to 5 feet from the door. I still made him 4 feet tall, but I also made him 9 feet long. So the procedure will be the same for this building, except that this door gets recessed into the building. So there's going to be a little bit of calculations that I have to do here. So I won't show it because it's going to take me a while, but I will show you how it's going to look when I get done with it. Apparently, from what I see in the picture, it looks like the window starts even with this little notch right here. So I will draw a straight line down on both of these. Then I will draw the size of the window that I want, and then there'll also be a place where it's going to cut in. Let me see if I can get this out a little further. I showed you in one of my previous videos where the doors are actually on an angle like this, with the door being at the center. So that's what I'm going to try and represent with this next one. So stay tuned and I'll show you the drawing afterwards. And one other thing I have to mention to you guys. A good friend of mine, and you guys all know him, Greg from Fish Plate Films, his theory is you could do all the measurements you want, get everything as accurate as you can, but the last thing you need to rely on is your eyeballs. If it looks good to you, then it's good, and I believe that this right here looks good to me. I can't represent the entire building the way it should be, but I'm going to do my best to get it as close as possible. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and draw out these two, and we'll see how it goes from there. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, what you're looking at is the first two buildings that I have drawn the windows and doors in. This one was fairly easy. The X's mark the pieces that need to get cut out so I don't get confused, and believe me, I get confused quite a bit lately. The bottom of the door has a kick plate down here, so that won't get cut out. This whole door will be glass. Okay, now we move over to this building. Like I told you guys earlier, that the doors are going to angle in towards the center. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this whole piece out right along the top here. And I'm going to scribe this line and scribe this line and cut this line. And by scribing it, I'll be able to push it back a little bit. So anyhow, this is the first time I'm doing this kind of a build. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out, see if it works. And if it works, then I'll continue on the third building here. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. One thing I'd like to mention about this, This styrene is about 10 to 15 thousandths thick. I do not recommend doing a building like I'm going to do it here using such a thin styrene. These for sale signs come thicker. You can use those, or you can just go and buy your evergreen stuff. I'm doing this on a budget, and I know once these buildings are built they won't be moved, so I'm not worried about how flexible they will be, but there will also be supports in the back here, so it should be okay. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and get on with the cutting, and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, this is what it's going to look like when I get the rest of them cut out and get all the glass cut out. But as you can see, I've got my angle towards the inside of the building, and then this empty spot right here will get the door. So now that I know it's going to work, I'll continue to cut the glass out, and then I will do this building that's going to get the same type of entrance as this one. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, this is not going to be an easy task to do, especially because most of the buildings have doors just like this. I will show you the mistake that I made, so if you guys want to try this on your own, I'll show you what to avoid. Now if you notice that over here I have where it says scribe, and that's these two lines so I could bend it back. What I did was I cut it off of here, and I should have left this little piece attached to the main part of the facade. So anyhow, I did the same on this side. It was too late because I already cut it. But when I get to this one, I know the mistake that I made here, so I won't make the same mistake here. Anyhow, like I said, this is going to take quite a while to do. So let's see what else we can get into while we're up here on video. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I decided before we get out to the layout, I'll show you the progress I'm making on the facades for this strip of stores in Wickenburg. So anyhow, this is what I've accomplished so far, and so far it's not looking too bad. I did add a styrene strip down here so I could fasten it to the foundation when it gets done. And so I just don't like all of this stupid light that I have going on here. Anyhow, the next step is going to be, let me show you here. For these strippings that are here, I'm going to be using this number 218 rod. And what it's going to look like is, let me show you here, if I can find it. Alright. I tell you, this is probably one of the worst videos I've done in a long time. But anyhow, we will take these rods and we will go ahead and place them on here like that. And what I see there is quite a few of them. I'm not going to put as much to make it look that busy, but anyhow, these will be what I'm going to do here. I'm also going to trim out the windows, and I did buy this 20 by 60 thousandths, and actually it's a little bit too big. It measures out to be 1 scale foot as far as how wide it is. So I'm going to go back to the hobby shop and get something smaller than that. Anyhow, I will keep on working on this, and I won't show you the completed section until the next video. This building here will get yellow. This building here will get a reddish color, and this building here will get a tan color or beige color. Anyhow, that's about it for this how-to video. So we'll go ahead out to the layout now, and I'll show you what's going on out there. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're out here at my layout now. This is the Wickenburg area, and I had mentioned to you guys that I was going to start doing some track work. Well, I did start doing some track work. The outside main is complete up to that turnout. And the industrial spur is done with the first line out there. I'm going to be adding feeder wires here. This guy is insulated right here, and then there'll be more feeder wires here, and then I'll add feeder wires as necessary to the rest of the track. But in order to get this track work done, there's something else that has to be done almost simultaneously, and that is to get this area together. As you can see, I started putting some of my mountains in here, and this is old school. A lot of you guys watching this might not even know about this little deal, but basically it's just newspaper crinkled up and placed in there, and then you could form it the way you want. My bridge abutments are there, and this is basically a dry riverbed, so I'm just going to add a bit of water right here, and it's going to stop right about there. Like I said, I mentioned this a couple of times, that the only time I've actually seen water in this river was with the recent floods that they had in Wickenburg. This will all get filled in down in here, and then like I said, these mountains will come up on this side here. Anyhow, this video is getting kind of long. I try to make everybody happy by keeping a happy medium of about 20-minute videos. I know if it goes longer than 20 minutes, people probably won't watch it, so trying to keep it short. Anyhow, I'm going to be using plaster cloth, and that's by Scenic Express, and that's the super roll, they call it, a big roll. Anyhow, maybe I'll put just a little bit of plaster on here before I sign off with this video, and we'll see how it goes. Anyhow, stand by and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, if you remember just a little while ago I showed you some of the mock-up I was going to do for the mountains. Well, last night I went ahead and added some plaster. These are plaster cloth, and as you can see, the mountain will get pretty high right there, and then it'll start coming down to meet up with the riverbed. I also did some on the river banks, if you want to call it that. And I left all this empty yet because I still need to make a little passageway or to fill in the gap right there, and the same thing on that side. Anyhow, this is basically what the mountains are going to look like, and we'll continue on with this. This is going to be the end of this part of the series. I hope you guys enjoyed so far what I've been doing. And as always, your questions, comments, input, and subs are always welcome. For now, BNSF 6951 out.